You know how in the last video I told you guys that the Klong Toi slums is out of the question because that's where the epicenter of COVID is, and if you were to go there, there's a 48% chance that you might get a full viral load of COVID? Well, I'm heading over to the Klong Toi slums. So today in this video, I'm actually meeting up with a nonprofit group called Bangkok Community Hope. If you're an expat here in Bangkok, they're well aware of all their charitable work. The two head guys, the two head entrepreneurs that started up Bangkok Community Help, Greg and Friezo, have done wonderful work. So I'm actually meeting up with a few guys to help out in an isolation center here in Klong Toi. I'll get more details on it later, but I don't know, I'm pretty dang lost of where this isolation center is going to be at. Let's try to find them. What we're doing today is that we are here at this open air indoor area here in Klong Toi. Seems like a place where people play indoor soccer. But this place has been commissioned to become a improvised hospital. So what we're doing out of these boxes, if you see right here, is that we're constructing beds out of these boxes. And then eventually we're gonna construct roughly approximately 60 beds, line them through this indoor football soccer field. And then they're also gonna be running strips of electric sockets through here. So far we've got, well, including myself, we got 5 people. We're just constructing this, and I think we got to do at least 60 beds. With our ragtag team of volunteers, we went straight to work constructing these sturdy cardboard beds. Don't worry, there's a mattress topper for these beds, so they're not sleeping on straight cardboard. So I'm here with Christian. He's going to give us an informal tutorial on how these makeshift beds work.
So hey, thank you for watching. So we're going to make these beds together. We have 2 different parts, very important to know. Small one, and we have one, arrows. Arrows, very important. So first, low part on the ground, and we are going to put it together. It's all quite straightforward. One part on the bottle and try to assemble it. Try looking for the arrows. This one, no arrow, don't need. Arrow, very good. Arrows are all going in the same direction, and we're just gonna assemble it together.
So arrows go in one direction.
All arrows in one direction. So, hit the count, move it around.
You're gonna flip it around.
Time for part 2, right? I don't know if all you guys, you played with Lego once you were a bit younger and a bit smaller than we are now. It's kind of the same thing.
Or assembling IKEA furniture.
IKEA furniture, yeah. And trying not to have any leftover parts, right? I think they're all quite cost effective. Like tick, tick, and tick. That's how it's done. This takes a little bit of patience, because you don't want to ruin the bed and keep it strong, but it all easily folds into each other. Where you can see there's a few break lines, which easily falls apart. Put your hand under it and the second line comes as well. And assemble it together so we get a nice and strong bed. A little bit of patience, a little bit of love is required here. Just as at home. Love and hate.
And there you go.
And this is your bed.
Whew. So 2 hours has elapsed since we started putting these makeshift beds together. I'm sweating my balls off in this very hot, humid, wonderful weather here in Bangkok. But have you seen the progress over here? We're making 4 rows of these makeshift beds. I think we're trying to aim for about 15 beds per row for recovering COVID patients. And one of the biggest challenges that we're trying to find right now is hiring an electrician to install strips of sockets and run them throughout the soccer football field, just so they can we can install some fans over, make sure these people can get the proper ventilation and cooling. All right, so I'm here with Matthias, who is the head organizer for this particular event, setting up beds for COVID patients. Matthias, can you give us a quick introduction, just tell us what's going on?
Yeah, sure, Forrest. Thanks for your support here. Yeah, I work for Bangkok Community Help since a year now. That foundation was set up in April last year when COVID finally also started to hit Bangkok and Thailand. So they started to hand out meals, focused on Klong Toi, a slum in the middle of Bangkok with 100,000 to 130,000 people living here. In the beginning, we were still able to go into the communities like here, paint this community center, build houses, paint other areas. As the crisis went more severe, focus shifted. We are now taking care of those who are struck hardest by handing out up to 3,000 meals per day, by handing out hundreds and thousands of care packages with basic needs, but also now to help set up isolation centers for those who are infected. Imagine here in Klong Toi slum and other areas in Bangkok, people might only have 2 square meters or less per person living in households of 10 and more. So how can they isolate themselves once they get infected? So we help them by setting up centers where they can go and wait until they heal, they overcame the infection and can go back to their family afterwards instead of infecting everyone. So that really saves lives. We have one person here, just to give you an example, the other volunteers literally collected him from the street. He got tested positively, was kicked out from where he lived. He lived on the street, and we could offer him a place here in the isolation center, give him the time and feed him until he recovers and can go back to his home. This center here now we set up today and over the rest of the week is with 60 beds on the ground floor, 6 more on the upper floor. It's cardboard box beds, but very, very helpful for this purpose. They get mattresses on top. We are currently installing the electricity here.
Can you tell us briefly about how the isolation procedures is like?
Well, we work very closely with the local politicians and the community leaders, so we know exactly via this infrastructure where people are in a critical situation, where they were tested positively, and together with them, people are moved into this center. So we also have 2 ambulances, meanwhile, where we can collect people who are not in walking distance. So in close communication with the local infrastructure, mainly the community leaders, that's organized. We also have kind of a hotline where we are called for help and work together with doctors who then have a remote diagnosis, and so there might be people from all over Bangkok, other parts who are identified as suitable for an isolation center, or where we try to help them get a hospital bed.
Well, thank you for everything they do. You're doing great work.
Thanks a lot. It's quite meaningful. It's for a good cause, I think. The situation in Thailand is quite severe at the moment, and so many people suffering. So it's good to be part of an organization which help there. If you want to support Bangkok community, help look it up at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You find ways to donate there, or just ways to get in touch with us. Every baht, every dollar, of course, helps there. Thanks a lot.
So you know how in the latest video I was talking about needing to find permanent solutions to kind of help, the homeless, the needy, instead of just doing meals. Meals are great, but I want to do something that kind of lasts them for months, years on end. One of the problems was trying to find an electrician and then tell them to install the strips of sockets so they would have fans to help ventilate a lot of the recovering COVID patients here. So through all the donations, we're going to hire an electrician, install everything and help the people here in the Klong Toi community. So just want to give everyone that donated, everybody that's watched the video, special thanks to you guys. Without you guys, this could have never happened. Thank you. After 2 hours and 60 beds later, we were finally finished. Tired, exhausted, sweaty, and mentally drained, we finally completed our mission. We expended every last bit of energy we had, but it was all worth it for this community in need. The people of Klong Toi needed this. All right, guys. So inside my giant man purse is an envelope. Now inside this envelope has a lot of money. Wow, that is a lot of money, a lot of Thai baht. Now this is actually a total of 35,000 Thai baht, which is the equivalent of 1,046 US dollars. That money is all going towards that electrician and that company Like I mentioned many times, he's installing fans all over the beds for this isolation center, so recovering COVID patients have the proper ventilation, you know, they're feeling much comfortable, they're not seated outside of this hot, sweaty, humid weather, and at least they have a proper fan blowing on them. This is what I was actually talking about, guys. Permanent solutions that can help people months, years on end. And it's all thanks to you guys. You guys are the ones that, you know, came out full force with this donation money, and like I said previously, I'll keep my word, and I promise you guys the money's gonna go towards something good to help the people here in Thailand, and especially a lot of the needy and homeless people that really desperately need food and the medical care. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Now, obviously, I'm very irresponsible with large sums of money, so this is going to my good friend, the man that's facilitating everything, that he's done so much great work around here. I'm very inspired and impressed. Matthias.
All right, that's a great help. I said it last time, this isolation center is really saving lives by reducing infections in the area, by providing a space for the people where they can go when they are infected without infecting their family members in their congested homes. So this provides electricity, fan, for the telephone charger and so on to the people who will stay here 10, 14 days. Great help. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all of you who contributed. It really helped the community here.
It is rainy season here in Thailand, so of course, and yesterday was a massive downpour. So definitely this area was a bit soaked, but we're not gonna let that stop us. We give it a week, and this isolation center full of 60 beds and fans all over the place are gonna be filled up, ready to take care of the COVID patients here. We're not gonna let rain stop us. Never. First and foremost, I want to thank Matthias for organizing everything. He's been a huge asset with Bangkok Community Help, along with, you know, some of the big guys like Friso and Greg. Matthias here, great man, really cares about the people here. So I just want to thank you for everything that you've done and got me set up, and, you know, given me this opportunity to, and the subscribers to help donate some money to get fans installed.
Yeah, again, thanks all of you. That's the people we need, and all the support. Without that, Bangkok Community Help would not work at all. So great to get that support from you. Thanks.
And most importantly, I want to thank you guys. You guys are the MVPs out here. I can't thank you guys enough. I'm just very grateful, very inspiring. I'm kind of a cynical guy, but you guys have made me less cynical, and just, you know, super happy, especially during these rough times. So most importantly, I want to thank you guys, the fans, the subscribers, everybody that donated. You guys are rock stars. You guys are awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.